This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Monday, May 18th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
Why not let's jump in the game and start helping Indiana get back on track? Let's start helping get our economy back open.
Hoosiers who think they may have COVID-19 have a new option to get tested. Working for you, we're breaking down how it works and why it won't cost a penny.
Go out and we take care of the decedents so that we serve that public need.
Hiring Hoosiers is committed to connecting you to employers looking for workers. This morning, I'll introduce you to one career in need of employees no matter the economy. Plus, school may be over for thousands of Hoosier kids, but the work is far from over for cafeteria workers.
It makes us very happy, that we're doing this.
We're at the legislature.
Yes, we rock.
This morning, how they're making sure no student goes hungry.
All right, it is 6 o'clock. We do want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen and Rafael Sanchez joining me, and social distancing from home. Good morning to you guys. Rafael, thanks for joining us from down in Franklin.
Well, Lauren, good morning. I hope you guys had a good weekend. A light rain in Franklin this morning. A good day to power up that Storm Shield app. And, of course, as we turn to our expert, meteorologist Todd Clausen. TK, fill us in on this wet Monday morning.
Yeah, heavy rainfall across parts of the area, Rafael, and has really started yesterday evening with that line of storms that came in. Thankfully, we avoided a lot of the severe weather, but Kyle was in last night tracking that for you. But our bigger concern now going forward will be the potential for some localized flooding in spots, and there is a flash flood watch for parts of the area. You can see the heaviest of the rainfall right now is to the north, and it's moving out of the Peru area, but still falling in Kokomo as well as Marion over towards Hartford City. We're dealing with the rain. And then there was a heavy band of rain that went through downtown Indianapolis. That's moving to the eastern side of Marion County right now. But we still do have some showers in and around the metro area in Indianapolis back towards a speedway. So this band of rain will continue to slide off towards the east. Behind it, there's not a whole lot in the way of any heavy rainfall. So the wettest part of the day is what's occurring right now. We'll deal with some scattered showers later on this afternoon, but a lot of dry hours mixed in. Temperatures right now are in the 50s and 60s. Temperatures today eventually get up to 70 degrees once we lose a lot of this rainfall, but more rain's in the forecast for tomorrow. But by the end of the week, I really think you're going to like the forecast as we head into the Memorial Day weekend. More on that, Lauren, coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at the North Split here in downtown. You can see the rainy roads Todd was mentioning there, but traffic is still traveling up to speed. Keep in mind, we still have I-70 westbound lanes closed between the east side at 465 all the way into the North Split. That's set to reopen about a week from now. So we'll keep you updated on that project. You can see everything else is moving along, so no crashes here in downtown to slow down your Monday commute. Rafael?
The time now is 6:03, and now to the latest on COVID-19 and its impact on our state. The Indiana Department of Health reports 11 deaths on Sunday. More than 1,600 Hoosiers have died from this virus. 511 new cases were also reported. More than 27,000 Hoosiers have tested positive since the pandemic began, and more than 8,000 of those are in Marion County here in the capital city. There's another option this morning for Hoosiers looking to get tested for COVID-19.
And our Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning with how the new program works. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning, Rafael and Lauren. This morning, there is a new testing location. There are actually 4 locations as a private urgent care chain is offering new testing sites. There are 4 Indiana immediate care locations across Indianapolis. 2 weeks ago, they started doing curbside nasal swab coronavirus testing, and now they're also doing antibody screenings for recovered COVID-19 patients. We talked to the director of operations about what people need to know. She says you don't have to be a current patient. You just need to call when you get in the parking lot so they can screen you first over the phone.
I would invite every Hoosier in the state of Indiana to come in and get tested if they feel that they've been previously infected and they just want some reassurance, or if they think that they're sick, they really need to get back to work, so they need that test result showing whether or not they are a good candidate and eligible to go back to work. I think those are 2 tremendous values for all Hoosiers here.
And And the director of operations for Indiana Immediate Care says she hopes this helps Indiana get back on track by getting more people tested. And these testing sites are part of the federal program, which means all of the testing that they are offering, both the COVID-19 testing as well as the antibody testing, that's all free to patients. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. The time now is 6:05. The Rebound Indiana is our commitment here at RTV6 to ensure that you have all the resources you need to make it through this pandemic. And we know that food is vital. In a moment, I'll share with you a phone number that will connect you to feeding programs closest to your neighborhood. But first, the schools on the feeding front line. A cavalcade of carts are choreographed to cruise in this cafeteria. The school year may be over for the Clark Pleasant School Corporation south of Indianapolis, but school meals will be packed and distributed until June the 30th.
It makes us very happy, that we're doing this.
All right for the lunch ladies.
Yes, we rock.
A team of 65 food service members split up the work. Some prepare a portion of the meals on Sundays, while the others step in on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Going into this, one of our first priorities was feeding kids and keeping that going. We're a district of about 50% free and reduced lunch, but also a lot of families who are blue-collar hourly workers that we knew were going to have a difficult time during this pandemic. And so we wanted to make sure we did an exceptional job of getting meals out to families.
Outside, another busy operation as volunteers drive up to pick up meals to deliver to families throughout the school district. Beth Stinson's van is loaded with food for 25 families in Whiteland, New Whiteland, and Greenwood, mostly essential workers like nurses who welcome the meals.
Because I can't sew to save my life, so since I can't help make masks, this was kind of my way to contribute, and it kind of also gave some of my kids a first-hand look of, how we can help out. Just because you can't do this thing, maybe you can do something else to help out your community instead.
The cooler is stocked for the next food pickup. The goal, no child goes hungry. That's the best thank you ever. And schools statewide will be feeding young people all the way through June the 30th, as well as planning ahead for the summer. Those details should come out in a couple of days. Now, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which sort of manages all the food programs, has a toll-free number, really cool, very handy, that will connect you to the nearest free feeding program for your child anywhere in the state, really anywhere in America. That toll-free number is 1-866-348-6479. I checked out the number today. It is only open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So don't call right now, only from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
All right, Raphael, thank you. It is 6:08. A lot of spring sports have been canceled due to COVID-19, and those summer leagues, they're still up in the air. Our Kelsey Anderson spoke with a local youth organization to see how they're handling the unknown.
The Oklalandon Youth Organization had to cancel their spring season and cancel 2 of their big summer tournaments that they have every single year. They say now they're just in a holding pattern, waiting to see what's next for rec leagues. On an average year, 800 kids sign up to play ball at OYO. They have spring recreation leagues, summer travel leagues, and fall leagues. They are waiting for more guidance from county officials, plus to see what other local leagues decide to do.
So as Matt said, obviously not an easy decision to cancel, but we have put it at the forefront to keep the families safe here and to just concentrate on their well-being and the health and safety of everybody. So, we've just had to put our heads together, and we thought rather than trying to force too many seasons, we decided to go for an expanded fall season.
Organizers say they want to make sure the first season back is as special as possible, and they'll put new precautions in place to make sure all the families who visit can stay safe and healthy. They tell me if you did sign up for the spring season, you have 3 options. You can get your money back in a full refund, you can use that money towards the fall season if it happens, or you can donate the money to OYO. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you so much. The time now is 6:09 here on Good Morning Indiana. And now to the latest on Democracy 2020. The deadline to request an absentee ballot for this upcoming primary is this Thursday, May the 21st. The state's primary, as you know, was moved to June the 2nd because of the coronavirus pandemic. Ballots can be emailed, mailed, or faxed. The county clerk must receive your absentee ballot by noon on June the 2nd. Now, early voting starts May the 26th and goes all the way through June the 1st. If you vote in person, you must bring your own mask, gloves, and any other protective equipment that you need.
Thousands of Hoosiers are out of work right now due to the coronavirus pandemic. At 6:14, I'm showing you around a field needing new workers every day. Todd.
And Lauren, we're dealing with a band of pretty heavy rainfall that's moving through parts of central Indiana, starting to slide off towards the east. Right now is the wettest part of the day for most of us. We'll talk about the rest of your Monday and look ahead to this week as we push towards the Memorial Day holiday. I think you're going to eventually like the forecast. We'll talk all about it in detail coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:10.
Welcome back. It is 6:13 as unemployment skyrockets due to the ongoing fight against COVID-19. It is our mission, Raphael, to connect anyone to open jobs, resources through our Hiring Hoosiers initiative. That has never been more important until right now.
Yeah, we really love this program because we're dedicated to sharing with you information that will lead to your next job or maybe those training resources that will lead to a better career.
Yeah, so today we're looking at a field with more jobs open than there are people to fill them, and that's not just during this global pandemic.
Our professional network is on the front line of this.
They may not get parades or yard signs, but the work of these so-called last responders is a critical part of our infrastructure.
We go out and we take care of the decedents so that we serve that public need.
The mortuary sciences field, funeral directors and embalmers. Brian Miller is an embalmer by trade and the program chair for mortuary sciences at Ivy Tech. It's a 2-year program ending with an associate's degree, preparing students in compassionate care for the living and appropriate care for the deceased. The global pandemic may have changed the way we conduct funerals, but the people in this line of work continue to be in demand.
People are going to live, people are going to die. So this is something that job security wise, would you say that's a benefit because this is something that's not going anywhere?
Currently, the last few years, we've had more jobs available than there are students to fill those. And that's not just here in the state, that's across the country.
And Ivy Tech students are getting a firsthand look at the creativity needed in these trying times to still meet the needs of families.
Like it's a wedding, but done in 3 days instead of 6 months. So it's everything from like clothing, flowers, setup. There's a lot of artistic direction in it.
James Swartout is in his final semester, completing his 320 hours of hands-on work at a funeral home.
I've never been happier doing any work so far.
He first worked in logistics, then was a phlebotomist.
Beforehand, I felt like I was just going through motions. You know, I was just working to live. And now doing this, I feel like I'm actively engaging with people and I'm helping them and giving them something that they need in the time that they need it.
And for James, it's personal.
Funerals help people when they lose someone start that healing process.
Working in this field helped him to work through his own personal struggles with the loss of his father.
And I was very young and I did not deal with it well. And it kind of haunted me for quite a while. And it wasn't until I started getting into this program that I really figured out psychological reasons why.
Workers in mortuary sciences are not grief counselors, but they do play a critical role in the grieving process.
Probably like a specific type of person. Not everyone's cut out for this.
The true answer is anyone who has a compassion to serve and a sensitive heart and a servant's heart can be successful in our business. What I think you have to understand is the nature of the business so that you don't come out of it thinking that we're crime scene investigators or that we're going to be forensic pathologists or that you're going to work 8 to 5. Those things are unrealistic.
For Brian, the job is an act of service.
Really, the goal of it is to prepare a person to give them some dignity back. So let's put them in their clothing. Let's shave them and clean them and give them some dignity so that the family then can see them and have a healthy grief reaction.
So what should students expect as they go into this program? It is strenuous. It's heavy on classwork at first, so good science and psychology foundation helps. There's a lot of work in the hands-on field as well. Prepare to move to where the jobs are open. And in terms of safety, Brian tells me embalming is actually less dangerous for exposure to COVID-19 than funeral directing with proper preparation. Many funeral directors are now speaking with families virtually to avoid exposure. If you want to learn more about Ivy Tech's mortuary science program and to apply, we have all the information under this story on our website, hiringhoosiers.com. The time right now is 6:17. It's Monday morning. Let's toss things over to Todd Clausen for a check of our forecast. Hey, TK.
Lauren, it's been a wet start to our day, and this is really a carryover from the wet conditions yesterday evening when we had the threat of severe weather. No threat of severe weather in the forecast for this morning, despite the heavier rain. You notice our rain chances, though, will decrease as the day goes on. In fact, as we get towards the noon hour and beyond, it's only about a 20% chance of a shower or two as we get into the afternoon hour. So that's good news. It'll give us an opportunity to dry out and also an opportunity for you to get out and about. But heavy rainfall right now from Fairmount down into northern portions of Madison County as we work our way into Elwood as well as the Alexandria area. Some light rain in Kokomo as we slide down to the south. As you get into the Noblesville and Fishers area, Carmel as well, some heavier downpours, tapering the rain off in downtown Indianapolis, and then some rain showers down towards Greenwood and back towards Danville currently as well. So this band of rain will continue to push off towards the east as we work our way throughout the course of the morning hours. And by the time I think we get to, I would say, late morning, we're basically done with any steady rainfall. But what we have going on is this area of low pressure that is north of Chicago, and this is going to continue to pinwheel some showers around in our forecast. And the problem is this that you see out in the Atlantic, this is Tropical Storm Arthur that is across parts of the Carolinas. And this is just going to be sitting here, and that's just really preventing the weather from moving from west to east across the country. It can't really go anywhere, so it's blocked. And unfortunately for us, that means this area of low pressure is going to linger and stick around for a little bit longer. And that means we are going to continue to deal with the rain showers. Temperatures right now are in the 50s and 60s. Highs today will eventually be climbing up into the 70-degree range across the area. It's going to be a fairly dry afternoon with some sunshine. The one thing I will mention, though, if we do see some sunshine, that'll actually help to aid in the development of some additional showers. So that's why we do see some sunshine. I will keep the chance of a few isolated showers in the forecast this afternoon, but definitely not the heavier rainfall. Tomorrow we get back into the potential for some heavier rain across the area, especially to the east. That's why some of you are under the flash flood watch across eastern Indiana and down to the south as well. But the trade-off is finally once Arthur moves out further into the Atlantic, temperatures will start to moderate. The weather pattern gets moving again. That allows the sunshine to build in, and with that sunshine, we're looking at high temperatures Saturday, 81, 84, 85 degrees potentially on Sunday with just a stray storm, and that nice warm weather will continue into Memorial Day as well.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's a live look right now at traffic as you're heading out on the roads. This is a look on the north side, I-465 over the White River. You can see traffic is moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound. No major issues there to slow you down. The only crashes I'm monitoring right now, one on the west side, northbound lanes of I-465 and I-74, right lane blocked for a crash there. And then as you're heading into the downtown area on I-65 near the South Split, we have a left lane blocked there for a crash. We'll continue to keep an eye on those wet roads this Monday. Raphael?
Lauren, thank you so much. Todd just showed us on his radar Tropical Storm Arthur churning off the coast of the Carolinas. And this is really the first named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season, which officially does not really begin until May the 31st. Arthur is not expected to make landfall, but heavy winds, rain, and some flooding may occur. The storm is expected to make its closest pass to North Carolina's Outer Banks later this morning.
Well, thousands of Americans are receiving stimulus checks for loved ones who've passed. New at 6:27, we're looking at why grieving survivors can't keep the checks.
And did you know that every $6.5 million are spent each year in the Hoosier State treating diabetes and its complications? RTV6 is a proud partner for this year's American Diabetes Association's Indiana Tour de Cure, and this year it's going virtual on June the 6th. Good morning to Martinsville, Marklettville, and Morgantown. It is 6:22, and you're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Make a donation or volunteer today.
Welcome back. It is 6:24. Raphael, time to talk about what is trending at 6.
And Lauren, I know that you love dogs. You have a pet Molly, is that right?
That is right.
So this is our first Trending 6 love connection. I want Molly to meet Levi. You see, 4-year-old Levi is part of Lutheran Church's charity's Canine Ministry. And Levi and other ministry dogs are delivering comfort virtually to healthcare workers, children, and others who need it during the coronavirus pandemic. He uses a laptop computer to make virtual visits, and his handler, Pam Miller, says when he puts on his comfort dog vest on, he knows it's time for work. I think that Molly would like Levi. I'm just saying.
He is really cute. He's a little bit younger than her, but I think, who knows? We'll have to see. Well, the baseball season is on hold, obviously, but that's not stopping Cubs fans from gathering outside of Wrigley, where a solo organist fired up some familiar tunes there. Bars in the area and the seats inside the stadium remain empty, but the faithful still gathering, donning their Cubs gear, waiting until baseball season has its opening day. Looking forward to that, Raphael.
Everyone is, Lauren, and a good morning to Vince and Josh Quirk. The father and son duo are today's hometown heroes right here in central Indiana on RTV6. The truck drivers make their families really proud as they perform essential services every day, making deliveries. A big thank you to them. And Todd, Josh, and Vince will need their windshield wipers on those semis because there is rain in that forecast.
Yeah, you know, definitely this morning you will, as we kind of transition into the afternoon hours. It's a little drier for us. We'll go from this band of heavier rainfall that's moving through right now to just more in the way of some spotty showers. You notice temperatures right now are sitting in the 50s and 60s, with the band of heavier rainfall now shifting a little further off towards the east, although light rain continues to fall in downtown Indianapolis and down towards Bloomington. Highs today right around 70 degrees, which is just a couple degrees below normal. And I do think we'll see some sunshine here this afternoon, albeit going to be very spotty. Overall, it's a mostly cloudy afternoon, but definitely a lot of dry hours this afternoon and this evening. The flash flood watch is posted across the area, especially to the east and to the south. And that is not only for today, but the rainfall that's going to come tomorrow as well. It's very unsettled today and tomorrow, but then better weather for the end of the week. More on that coming up in the next half hour of Good Morning Indiana.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. While as many as 10 million people who are supposed to get a stimulus check have yet to receive one, the IRS has been sending checks to deceased people. Working for you, our John Matarese looks into what you should do if you get a check for a loved one who passed away, so you don't waste your money.
In its haste to get stimulus checks to workers as quickly as possible, the IRS made one big mistake, sending thousands of checks to dead people. Bruce Batchelor is coping with a lot these days after his beloved wife recently passed away from an illness. With money tight, he was looking forward to $1,200 from Uncle Sam.
I was expecting a stimulus check.
Bruce says he was thrilled to discover $1,200 deposited into his bank account the other day. But that thrill quickly wore off because the IRS had not realized his wife had passed away.
Checked my bank account and I had a deposit for $2,400 instead of $1,200.
It's happening to many grieving families. The stimulus is based on last year's tax filing.
So they had gone off of my income tax refund from last year, where I was able to claim her.
When he tried to report the error,
tried contacting the IRS. All their offices are closed. Can't call anybody.
So the IRS has just announced, do not cash a stimulus check sent to a deceased person. The agency is now providing mailing addresses on irs.gov where you can send it back. Bruce will do that, but feels the government should have done its homework.
I think there should have been a little bit more research done as to who is actually able to receive those checks legally. Losing somebody is always difficult, and it brings back memories.
Bottom line, do not spend stimulus money sent to a deceased person, no matter how heartless the whole thing feels. As always, don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
One Good Morning Indiana. On this Monday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. Police are investigating a shooting on the city's south side. Officers were called to an apartment complex near I-65 and I-465 around 10:30 last night. Police tell us the victim was in critical condition when officers found them. We're working to find more information about what led to that gunfire.
In more local news, Metro Police investigating the city's latest homicide. This happened on the west side of Indianapolis. Police were called around 11:30 Sunday morning to North Moreland Avenue near North Tibbs and Lafayette Road. Officers found a man suffering from a gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim's identity has not been released.
Former IU wide receiver Cody Latimer is facing several charges following his arrest in a Denver suburb over the weekend. Deputies arrested Latimer after they say one person was injured in a shooting at an apartment in Englewood, Colorado. Latimer played 3 seasons at IU before he was drafted by the Broncos in 2013. He had just signed with Washington as a free agent last month.
As we begin to slowly reopen from COVID-19, the Hoosier Lottery prize payment offices will reopen today. Locations in Indianapolis, Mishawaka, and Evansville will be open for appointment-only, in-person redemption of prizes of more than $600 or more. If you have a winning ticket, you should call this number on your screen to make an appointment. That number is 1-800-955-6886.
Up in Fishers now, Top Golf has reopened, but it's going to look a little bit different. The company CEO outlined the new safety measures, including social distancing guidelines. Employees will wear masks at all times and gloves when handling food and drinks. They'll also undergo daily health screenings. For visitors, each golf bay will be disinfected after each group, and dividers have been installed between those bays. All right, it is 6:31 here. It is Monday morning. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez. Welcome to the RTV6 studios in my living room in Johnson County. And Todd Clausen, as I look outside my living room window, the sun is attempting to break through those clouds, but I think the clouds may win today.
Yeah, the clouds are definitely going to win out, but we'll have some sunshine at times as we work our way into the afternoon hours here, Rafael. That is the good news. The clouds, though, will definitely be the main factor in the forecast for the day today, and then eventually we are going to see some of that sunshine maybe produce some more in the way of rain showers. Let me go back over to Storm Team 6 radar for you, and you can see the heaviest of this rain is falling here in northern locations right now, Marion to Fairmount over towards Elwood down to the Tipton area. No lightning, though. That is the good news. A little bit of heavier rainfall moving through the metro area, Indianapolis over towards Greenfield, and this band of rain will continue to push off towards the east. So the wettest part of the day is from now until probably about 8, 9 o'clock, and then we'll start to bring in some drier weather later on this afternoon, but never completely get rid of our rain chances across the area. As you can see, it's very unsettled across much of the East Coast. Temperatures right now in the 50s and 60s. We'll eventually get back up to near 70 later on this afternoon. We'll talk about that and look ahead to more in the way of rain for your Tuesday coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic as you're heading out on the roads this morning. Here's a look at that crash we mentioned to you on the west side. You can see it looks like a wrecker is arriving there at the scene to remove this vehicle from the road. This is northbound I-465 near I-74 Crawfordsville Road. The van there is the vehicle that crashed. It is facing the median wall, and it looks like they're working to get this clear right now. So just avoid the right lane if you can this morning. Give them plenty of space to do their work, and use caution out there because, as Todd has mentioned, we do have wet roads all over central Indiana. At 6:33, police need your help to find a woman who was reported missing out of Morgan County. Patsy Clark here on your screen is 81 years old. Police tell us she was last seen in Morgantown Sunday afternoon wearing a sweatshirt that's turned inside out. Patsy is believed to be driving a red 1990 Ford Explorer with an Indiana license plate. If you know where Patsy Clark is, you can call the Morgan County Sheriff's Department at the number on your screen. That number is 765-342-5544. Or you can just call 911.
The time now is 6:33 here on Good Morning Indiana. And now to the latest on the COVID-19 outbreak. More than 1,600 Hoosiers have died from COVID-19. The State Health Department reported 11 new deaths on Sunday. And there were also 511 new cases of the virus reported. More than 2,700 Hoosiers have tested positive since the pandemic began. More than 8,000 of those are in Marion County. And as our team coverage now continues, more testing in Indiana for COVID-19 is growing as another provider is joining the efforts. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning with the latest on the company making sure that Hoosiers get tested. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning, Raphael. So there are 4 additional testing sites across the Indianapolis area this morning. A private urgent care chain has started providing testing for COVID-19 as well as antibody testing for anyone who had COVID-19 and has recently recovered. Indiana immediate care locations on the north, south, east, and west side are offering this testing. You don't have to be a patient to get tested. All you have to do is park outside the center and call when you arrive. A health professional will do an over-the-phone screening before coming out to do a curbside nasal swab. People who have recovered from COVID-19 and want an antibody test will need to go inside. Indiana immediate care locations are part of a federal program that allows them to conduct these tests at no cost to patients.
We felt that was tremendously valuable to the Hoosiers here in Indiana. And also just a lack of testing availability. Like, why not? Let's jump in the game and start helping Indiana get back on track. Let's start helping get our economy back open.
More than 177,000 Hoosiers have been tested for COVID-19. Just over 15% have tested positive. And these 4 immediate care locations are part of 180 state testing sites that are currently available for Hoosiers. And we have all the details on the locations that are closest to you on our website, theindychannel.com. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. The time now is 6:36. Employees at 2 central Indiana auto plants will return to work this morning. A General Motors plant up in Kokomo and the Subaru facility in Lafayette are scheduled to resume production today. GM says all of its employees will go through safety protocols. New measures include hand sanitizing, face coverings, safety glasses, and temperature scans. The Kokomo plant has been building those ventilators for hospitals during the shutdown for COVID-19.
So those businesses are springing back, but many spring sports have been canceled because of the pandemic, and summer leagues, they're up in the air. Our Kelsey Anderson spoke to one sports organization to see how they're handling the unknown. Kelsey, good morning.
The Oaklandon Youth Organization normally has about 800 kids sign up to play baseball and softball every year. They had to cancel their spring season, and they don't know when they'll get back to playing, but what they do know is they're going to make it special for the kids.
Games every weekend until school's out, and then we start weeknight games.
In a world without the current pandemic, this dugout and this field would be filled with young athletes.
Well, right now we're kind of on a holding pattern.
The OIO Board of Directors had to cancel the spring season and now are waiting to see how much of their summer season they can salvage.
We're kind of waiting to see where Marion County hits as far as when we are allowed to start again. That will determine if and when we can start a summer league.
Once they do start back up, organizers tell me the health and safety of everyone will be at the forefront of their minds.
But we want to keep everybody as safe as possible, and we will definitely put every measure in place that we need to keep our parks safe and keep all of our patrons safe.
They are hopeful bats will be swinging soon, and they know everyone is ready to be at the ballpark.
We're all in this together right now. I know my daughter has lost the ability to play out here, just like, you know, the other 800 kids that registered out here this year. They all want to play. They all want to get back out here, and we're going to do the best we can to make sure they can get back out here in the fall.
They tell me if you did sign up for the spring season, you have 3 options. You can get your money back in a full refund. You can use that money towards the fall season if it happens, or you can donate the money to OIO. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
All right, Kelsey, thank you. Well, the business not only managed to hang on through the pandemic, the owner says it may have actually helped them. Next, we revisit the company to see how it's now rolling the dice on in-person business. We'll be right back.
We are Value City Furniture.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time now is 6:41, and businesses that were forced to shut down because of the pandemic are trying to bounce back, Lord, and bounce back in a very safe way.
Yeah, and so today we're going to follow up with an owner of a game store up in Noblesville. We featured first and part of our We're Open Indy series. Our Nicole Griffin tells us the store is back open and the staff, they're navigating through all the challenges coming their way.
This is intended to be kind of, we call it the look but don't touch concept, where you can point out something that you like, and then we'll walkie-talkie downstairs and bring it up for you.
When you walk into Moonshot Games in Noblesville, the layout of the store looks much different. It's an effort to keep everyone safe during the pandemic.
We had seating in our space here for about 70 people. And so we literally would just be busy with folks coming in and playing games.
But now the store is set up like a showroom with the best games in front.
This is our back room. We've spaced out the tables for social distancing.
And in the back, this is where owner Jason Manship hopes to eventually welcome players back inside.
I'm close enough. I can see what's going on over there. I can read his cards. He can read my cards.
He plans to set up tables like this with plexiglass so people can safely play. Underneath the store, he's now leased out the basement and created a warehouse where he stores thousands of games.
We get orders all day from California, New York, Arizona, all over the place.
Before getting shut down, Moonshot Games did not have a website, but the pandemic forced them to get creative, building an online presence and expanding delivery to the greater Indianapolis area.
And then, of course, the people that are downtown in, Indianapolis area, we're up in Noblesville. So a lot of those folks weren't making the trip all the way up here because there are game stores in that area. But opening delivery to those folks and being able to drive to them and drop bags of games or puzzles on their doorstep has been fantastic.
As customers visit the store to purchase games, they are starting to notice the changes and appreciate the extra effort to keep them safe.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's so easy to browse and look around, and I feel very safe here with the precautions they've taken.
While the pandemic has created both challenging and rewarding situations for the staff at Moonshot Games, the store manager says he's proud to see everyone rise up to the occasion. But he's looking forward to the day when the store is once again filled with players.
Just to see the camaraderie, the competitiveness between players, those moments of, hey, I think I've got you, and then a card comes out and changes the complexity of the game and everybody throws their hands up and gets all excited. It's going to be really fun to have those moments happening in the store again. So can't wait to get folks back in here.
Well, the owner of Moonshot Games says he started the store to empower people to have fun as a family and to encourage them to gather around the dinner table. Well, he thinks that's why he's having so much success during this pandemic, with families spending more time together at home. Some good coming out of the pandemic there, Raphael.
There sure is all over central Indiana. It was the year they came so close to beating the legend. Next, the documentary, The Last Dance, was probably one that made it very tough for some real diehard Pacer fans. I'm a big fan of TK, but TK, not the forecast so much today.
Yeah, you're probably one of many here, Raphael, that's not a fan of the forecast, as many of us are waking up to rain here across central Indiana. This rain's going to continue off and on throughout the morning hours before becoming more spotty as we get into the afternoon. However, rain chances stay in the forecast through a good chunk of the first half of the week, but better weather just in time for the Memorial Day weekend. More on that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:44. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.
Weeknights at 5:30.
Welcome back. It is 6:47 here on your Monday, and we're keeping a close eye on traffic, and we know we have wet roads to contend with across parts of central Indiana. And here's a look right now on the south side, I-65 and I-465. Now heads up, we do have the off-ramp there partially blocked northbound I-465 and I-65 due to a pickup truck that went off the road into a ditch. The left shoulder of the ramp to I-465 is blocked, and police are in the area with their lights on. So we'll continue to keep you updated, but it looks like everything else down there is traveling up to speed. Well, the clock has run out on the hugely popular ESPN documentary, The Last Dance, chronicling Michael Jordan's final run to an NBA championship. And Raphael, one of last night's episodes was nostalgic, perhaps a little bit painful for many people, especially Indiana Pacer fans.
Oh, what might have been. That Pacers team was one of the best in franchise history, and we came so close against the GOAT Jordan and the Chicago Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals back in 1998. The Pacers took the Bulls to 7 games, with each team winning every game on its home court. But even with a Hoosier legend as head coach, it just wasn't meant to be.
98, that was my first year coaching. And it was our best opportunity, I thought, to win a championship.
We were confident that we can dethrone the Bulls. We felt like we were just as versatile. We had Rick Smith, the Duncan Dutchman, Mark Jackson, one of the greatest assist guys the league has seen. We had the Davis brothers, Chris Mullin, one of the sweet shooting players of all time, and Reggie Miller, our Hall of Famer.
Of course, Jordan and the Bulls would take Game 7 of that series and then go on to beat the Utah Jazz in the finals for Jordan's last championship. Definitely a memorable game, memorable season, and go Pacers. This morning, let's check your forecast as we say, go Todd Clawson, maybe go away rain showers.
Yeah, you know, we need the rain showers to go away. It's been a pretty wet stretch of weather, really starting yesterday afternoon and evening for many of you, and that's carried over here into our Monday morning. Here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar for you, and you can see that the heaviest of the rain is now pushing off towards the northeast. That's where I'll take you first. The heavy rain is moving through Marion, portions of Gas City over towards Hartford City, then it's stretched down southward into Madison County, Alexandria, Anderson, Elwood, over to Tipton and Cicero, dealing with some pretty good rainfall. Coming to an end, though, in the metro area. That is the good news. But near Greenfield, some light rain continues to fall. And as we slide down to the south, there's some spotty showers here and there near Rushville as well as the Franklin area. But the overall trend here will be for this band of rain that you see, which is really stretching from south to north and moving in that direction as well, with a little bit of an easterly component. Back off to our west, there is drier weather. So the second half of our day is definitely going to be drier than what we've had so far this morning. But even then, there will be the chance of some spotty showers in the forecast off and on throughout the course of the day. So that's something that we will have to keep an eye on, especially if we develop some sunshine. I think we will at times. And that sunshine, obviously, you think is good because it brightens things up, it warms things up. But the atmosphere is still very unstable. So the more sunshine we see, the better potential we'll have of additional showers. Nothing severe, or maybe an isolated thunderstorm flaring up later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. So I'll keep rain chances in the forecast throughout the entire day. Just know this afternoon there's a lot more drier hours mixed in with high temperatures that are eventually right around 70 degrees. Let's jump back to TrueCast. Tomorrow morning at 1 a.m. the rain moves back in. At this point, the low is off to our southeast, and it's going to pinwheel showers back into the forecast from east to west. Kind of a different rain direction than we normally see, and these showers will be with us off and on throughout the day. And there's a flash flood watch in effect for the eastern portion of the state over in this area that I have circled. That's where the heaviest of the rain will fall tomorrow, so just be aware of the potential for some flooding. But better weather will arrive finally as we get closer to the weekend. One of the reasons why the forecast has changed and why we have showers in the forecast today, tomorrow, and maybe even into Wednesday is because of Tropical Storm Arthur. Kind of messed up all the plans. It's sitting off the Carolina coast. Until that moves, the weather cannot move from west to east across the country. So we deal with what we have, and that's unfortunately rain showers. But as that storm moves out into the Atlantic by the end of the week, look what happens. Sunshine returns and warmer temperatures return with that sunshine. Highs in the 80s, it looks like, for the entire Memorial Day weekend. All right, Todd, thanks so much. All right, let's take a look at the wet roads out there and that crash. We found it here on the south side. We were mentioning to you as we came back from the break. This is at I-65 and I-465. You can see we have an ambulance at the scene, police there as well, and there's the truck that went off the ramp into the ditch this morning. This is on northbound I-65, the ramp system getting you onto I-465. It kind of splits off both eastbound and westbound there. So it is blocking part of the ramp, this crash cleanup. So you'll want to slow down, and there's people out there standing. So just give them plenty of space to work, especially with the wet roads. Things can be more slick. So we'll keep an eye on this, and we'll have more coming up right after the break. Stick around.
Our TV6 app on your phone or streaming device.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time now is 6:55. These days, of course, relaxing to music is a great thing. For me, it's a little Beyonce, Lauren, or maybe some Guns N' Roses, but we are a kid-friendly show, so maybe your go-to songs are Under the Sea, or maybe A Whole New World, or something old school, maybe The Bare Necessities.
Okay, well, if listening to Disney songs helps you to calm down, the Calm app for your smartphone may have something that you like. The Sleep and Meditation app has added the classic Disney songs to its playlist. It has the instrumentals from movies like Mulan, Cinderella, designed to help you manage stress and sleep better.
Yes.
And guys, it seems to be working. In just the last 30 days, the Disney Peaceful Piano playlist already has 2.5 million streams. All right. Well, Todd, if we are wishing upon a star today, I would say we're wishing that thank you, that the weather would be a little bit different than what we're experiencing right now.
Yeah, you know, either that, just put on your rain machine. Raindrops keep falling on my head here this morning. You know, you don't even have to turn the machine on. The rain's been falling for much of the morning through much of central Indiana. Here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar. The heaviest of the rain shifting northeast now to Kokomo over towards Muncie. Nothing severe here going forward throughout the course of the day, but there will be some scattered showers. Tomorrow's another pretty wet day for many of us across the area with a high of 69 degrees. Then we start to dry out by the end of the week, and with the added sunshine, warmer temperatures, 75 on Friday. Then as we head into Memorial Day weekend, it looks like high temperatures will be up into the 80s.
All right, Todd, here's a look right now at the rain coming down on the right side of your screen, the sun trying to peek through on the left. We hope you stay dry, stay safe today. We're back in 25 minutes throughout Good Morning America with news, weather, and traffic updates. Have a great Monday.